Hello everyone, and welcome to another video here on TBR Media's YouTube channel. My name is Jared, and I've got a great co-host for today's awards ceremony, and that is Ren, of course.
Hi guys.
So we put together this list jointly. Ren helped me with some of the categories. A lot of what you guys mentioned last year when you did the Google form was that you wanted more like obscure, unique categories, and so we've got a few of those for you in today's awards show. And this is covering the best narratives of 2023. It was a great year, both in film and television. I really do think it was consistent all the way throughout, if we're not talking about any superhero movies. Those were a mess this year. Everything else was pretty good. And so we're going to be diving into the best narratives, both in TV and in film, unlike last year where we had it separated. So we're super pumped about it. First, I want to get your opinion on some of maybe like two of your favorite things that you saw this year.
Two of my favorite things I saw this year.
A couple of my favorite without spoiling my top 5, which we might do a separate video for YouTube members exclusively on our full list, full breakdown. But I think for now, I'll just give you a couple of my favorite films. Poor Things is absolutely incredible. Poor Things is amazing. Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, Mark Ruffalo. It is a full mouthful. It's a spoonful of like everything that we get from a Yorgos Lanthimos film. I love The Favorite. I love Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. And when he works with Emma Stone, it's a match made in heaven. And that's what you get out of Poor Things. Coming of age story told in a very unique way.
I love that.
Frankenstein-esque. And I just love everything about it. Performances, story.
I kept hearing Frankenstein like Esh. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, Willem Dafoe's character, without spoiling anything, plays Godwin.
Oh.
And so the whole movie is Emma Stone basically coming to terms with, in a full-grown adult body, basically being an infant at the start of the film and then coming into her own as it goes on. So there's a lot of speech elements. There's a lot of physical comedy in this movie because she's learning speech, she's learning movement, and so it's a very performative performance, one of my favorites. Another one that I have to give a shout out to is Godzilla -1. Boy, oh boy, did I not expect anything from Toho International's movie, because, Hollywood, it's a Japanese film, through and through. And so, like, comparatively, when you look at American Hollywood monster films, specifically Godzilla, Kong, they're like fine, but they're not like ideal, right? Like you don't go into those rooting for the characters. Here, it was all character. Character.
Was, dude.
Godzilla is a monster here. Like you are terrified through and through. The sound design, the score, the performances, everything worked on so many levels
so good.
In the way that it shouldn't have, on a budget that like makes Hollywood quake, that they couldn't produce something as well for that amount of money. And it looks spectacular. So those are two of my favorites. What about you?
Okay, I'm going to start with Gran Turismo. I adore that movie. I actually own it now. I bought it as soon as it released. It's one of my favorite movies. It's such like a comfort film. I'll watch like the last little segment of it, which I do with all my favorite movies. And Archie Madekwe is growing to be one of my favorite actors currently. I'm so excited. Like I'll probably be obsessed. I'll be like, oh, Archie Madekwe's in it. I gotta go see it. The next one is probably, we're just gonna go with a blanket, Oppenheimer.
Okay, fair enough.
Oppie.
Basic pick.
It was gonna be that or Saltburn, to be honest.
No,
but Oppie, Cillian Murphy could deck me in the face any day of the week. And I love him. I love that story. It's just so good. And I don't like long films like that or talky films like that or films that fit in that book.
That is
those like
all of those things.
Good moments of like silence where we're just watching things. I don't like those movies stereotypically, but I really enjoy it. I've also notoriously been like a Christopher Nolan hater, so.
Yeah, no, you have.
But like, I love this. I love this movie.
For TV, for me, I watched a lot of TV. I just finished Jury Duty, which Jury Duty is hilarious. It's a fake trial that they put on with all these actors, except one of the jurors is a real person and has no idea what is going on. And everything's scripted. They take you behind the scenes on Amazon Prime or Prime Video. They don't like us saying Amazon with Prime Video. But they go in depth on how they made it, how they staged everything. It's scripted partially, so like a lot of the skits that they do are scripted. And when they were making it, they had to like sit there and determine, well, what if this real person who's not an actor responds in this way? So they had different versions depending on how he was responding to what was going on.
That's crazy.
And they were doing things on a fly. Like, it is hilarious to watch, like, in its entirety. It's a short watch. It's like 8 episodes, 20 to 30 minute episodes. You can power through it in 1 week. It is exceptional. Another show that is on our list in a couple of categories is Sex Education. Season 4, it's its final season on Netflix.
I didn't watch
Absolutely loved it. That whole show like was one of my favorite guilty pleasures to watch, because it knows that it's not trying to do something revolutionary, but it's having fun with everything it's doing, and the cast is having such a good time. Everything was great. So those are my TV picks. Let's shift our focus into a little bit about the awards that we've got today.
Absolutely.
Because we tasked everyone watching with homework in voting for some of their best and most favorite TV shows and films of 2023. We had a lot of responses. Thank you to everyone who participated in it. As we did last year, there was a few criteria that you had to meet in order to get on the nominated list. So we put together the nominations, and then you voted for it.
We did.
The easiest way to do that was to put film and television in competition with one another, because I feel like we've gotten to this point where, yes, TV is long form. It is typically longer than a film. But like, when we talk about the best like entertainment to come out of a year, we're talking about everything, you know, and separating those two things, because in the year that the final season of Better Call Saul released, that was my absolute favorite thing of that year that I watched. So we just determined to put everything together. So we put together the list, and then you voted to help determine the finalist and then ultimately the winners. There is several categories here. There's 8 to be specific, and we're going to give you each one of them, the finalist, the 3 finalists in each category, followed up by the winner in the category. And I'm super pumped about it, because we are starting off with the Hollywood MVP Award for 2023. This is someone or something that is exceptional and crossed boundaries, did amazing work in terms of both craft, but also being a good human, I feel like. And that was kind of our criteria when selecting these nominees. So, Ren, who are the finalists for Hollywood MVP?
Your finalists, in no particular order, are Ryan Gosling.
He's just Ken.
He's just Ken. SAG-AFTRA and WGA unions. Taylor Swift, because of the Eras Tour.
What is the winner?
Dun 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 dun. Drum roll.
Dun 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 dun. The winner is union leadership of the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strike. There's just simply no way to cut this cloth other than the fact that these are historic victories in terms of pay, in terms of AI protection, in terms of residuals, in terms of gathering data from the streaming companies that they hold to their chest and don't let anyone see, so that the unions can negotiate, and therefore the actors can negotiate better pay for working on streaming projects that aren't typically given enough of ad revenue, enough financing to actually effectually pay the actors or the production staff
just so
working
crazy
on them. So I think that by far these are the deserved people or organizations that have won our TBR Hollywood MVP Awards. So Hopefully you like that pick. Tell us what you thought should have won, if anything. So Ren, our next category is a breakout star of 2023. Who rose to the occasion? Was it Archie Madekwe? Was it Jacob Elordi, two Saltburn alums who have done several projects very different this year and have definitely earned a spot on the map? Or is it someone else? Who are our finalists?
Our finalists are, as always, in no particular order, Jenna Ortega for Wednesday, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, and finally, Ayo Edebiri
for The Bear. It's a great show. You should watch it. Who is the winner, you might be asking yourself? Jenna Ortega had kind of a year. She's been having a few years in a row now, but this was really the year that I feel like general audiences really picked up on who she was, because Wednesday was just such a hit. Lily Gladstone has been in the game for a minute, but there's not been one particular performance that has catapulted her into the Academy Award discussions, and this was the year for her. And Ayo Edebiri is producing, she's acting, and she is a powerhouse on that show, and won recently at the Golden Globe Awards for a supporting role and for her performance in The Bear. And so out of these three, it's kind of close. The votes were close on this one, but nonetheless, Lily Gladstone came out on top for Killers of the Flower Moon. You haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon.
I've read the book.
But the performance is subtle, and it's like it's not too talky. It's a physical performance is what she brings to it. And learning her native language, which she did, just brushed up on it for this movie, for this role. She was so graceful when she accepted her award at the Golden Globes for a drama, for a leading role.
That's so cool.
And I think that she is probably on her way to winning that Oscar at this point.
I hope she does.
And so that is your breakout star of 2023, Lily Gladstone. Congratulations.
Jared, there have been many tear-jerking moments of 2023. There's Guardians of the Galaxy, The Last of Us, all these different incredible movies that came out this year. And TV shows where they just, I don't know if you were crying, I was crying, they were crying, I'm sobbing on the couch. It's just been a year of that. So who are, out of these incredible nominees, who are our three finalists?
I'm really excited about these picks, guys. You have Murray Bartlett for The Last of Us for episode 3, long time. Great episode. We have Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper, for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Rocket Raccoon.
And then we also have Greta Lee for Past Lives, a movie that will crush your soul.
I have not seen it. My soul is still intact.
Yes, still intact. But you have seen the other two.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, am I excited to announce the winner for this one. So Ren, why don't you take it away? Who has won this category?
None other than Murray Bartlett.
The Last of Us. The Last of Us gets a nom and a win at the TBR Awards, as it should. I cried 3 episodes in a row. I was crying the whole season.
This is actually the episode that got me to watch the show.
Yeah.
This is the first episode I saw.
Yeah.
Like, I saw snippets of the first 2.
Yeah, she had seen snippets. She was in the same room as I was watching it.
But I wasn't really watching it. This one fully had me. I was in the episode with them.
I think this is I haven't seen Succession yet. Yeah, I know. Dog on me all you want.
Boo. I haven't seen it either. Boo.
But like this episode in particular, episode 3, was so beautiful. It was so moving, and it was easily my favorite episode of the year out of anything I saw. Like it just
anything?
Out of anything that I saw this year, this was the best episode for television, in my opinion.
Wow.
And a lot of it was due to Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman's performances in that episode. They were just amazing. They had so much chemistry together, and it was such a believable love between the two of them, and it was so touching and effective.
Yeah.
And different from the game. They found a way to make it different from the game, but like expand on it at the same time and beautifully weave it into this story of apocalyptic chaos, which I loved. So Murray Bartlett, congratulations.
Yay. Jared, there have been a lot of smooching recently. A lot of kiss in all of our favorite movies. Who do you guys think is going to be our 3 finalists. Out of all the amazing options that we had, is it going to be Wade and Ember, a little Pixar elemental, like fiery,
melty, watery,
watery.
A lot going on with that kiss.
Or maybe it's Jenna Ortega and Mason Gooding from Scream 6.
That was a good one.
That was the build-up I was waiting for. I needed that.
And it's gone. Anyway.
Or something a little bit more obscure, like Godzilla in the Mind Bomb in Godzilla -1.
A lot of obscure picks.
Definitely. Jared, who are our 3 finalists?
So, our 3 finalists ended up being Wade and Ember from Elemental.
Woo!
Obviously. That has to be the hottest kiss. So much passion. More passion.
More passion. More energy.
You also have a nomination from Queen Charlotte.
Yes.
Which I love. You have Corey Milcrest and India Armatifio from Queen Charlotte.
Yes.
And then you also have Barry Keoghan and the Bath Drain from Saltburn. I am in love with all of these picks.
Honestly, I would like to get my credit. My idea solely was Barry Keoghan and the Bathtub Drain.
I had Godzilla and the Mind Bomb.
Yeah, you did.
As we were compiling these nominations, Godzilla -1 was fresh on my mind.
Yeah, so, it definitely was.
So I needed to include that in there.
I think Cam came up with Wade and Ember.
She did.
And then you actually got Queen Charlotte before I did. You like instantly were there, and he didn't even watch the show.
I watched bits and parts.
Okay, I did call him in probably like at least once or twice every episode to be like, look.
So, without further ado,
dun dun dun,
dun dun dun, drum roll please. Your winner for Hottest Kiss is Barry Keoghan and the Bath Drain from Saltburn.
What?
I mean, look, it had to be that. You have candles, you have cocktails of Jacob Elordi's bathwater, like, that are coming out now. It's a whole revolution. And with it being out on Prime Video, it's the perfect opportunity for you to see what we're talking about.
Definitely. Also, like, Barry Keoghan, guys. Don't you guys kind of want to be a bathtub drain for a minute? A little Barry Keoghan kissing action?
This year was a year of a lot of sequels. Many of them didn't work out at the box office, including some of the ones that are nominated. Nonetheless, we had so many options to choose from. Yeah. Dead Reckoning, we had Barry Season 4, we had Succession, the final season, Season 3, Creed 3 early in the year. We also had Saw X. Anyone?
The Saw X fans coming back from the reel.
Yeah. But nonetheless, you voted, you told us what you thought should be the finalist for this category for Best Continuation of Story in 2023 across film and television. And your nominees are?
In no particular order. It is Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, John Wick, Chapter 4, and Sex Education, Season 4.
So the winner of this category, without further ado, is...
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I loved it. I loved it.
I love the story. I love Rocket. And I love raccoons. Sorry. I love raccoons for this. I feel bad saying it. But I love raccoons.
So there were a lot of scores that came out that we loved in the year of 2023. The Last of Us score, the opening intro, iconic. You had things like Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer in the running this year. You had things that were a little bit more obscure, like Killers of the Flower Moon and the Creator's score, which I thought was beautiful if you saw it in theaters. Nonetheless, we came out with your votes with 3 finalists for this category, and the finalists, in no particular order, are Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer. You have The Last of Us, and you have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Incredible.
A good 3.
Solid 3, honestly.
And so, the question is, what is the winner? And the winner is...
Across the Spider-Verse, Daniel Pemberton.
Yep. Daniel Pemberton did really good here. It was very reminiscent of what we kind of got from Into the Spider-Verse, just expanded. Miguel O'Hare had his own theme, which I loved. I loved that.
A theme that sounds very much like another theme. which is alluding to something that Jared and I disagree on when it comes to this movie.
Yeah, no, but I think overall it's I remember when we first saw it, there are still TikTok sounds going around from the score.
Oh, absolutely.
And so like that and Oppenheimer, to be honest, are the two that are most prevailing out of this year. So it was good to see both of them get nominated by you guys. And, rightfully the winner is Across the Spider-Verse, so good job.
Can you hear the music? It's Across the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
We've had so many amazing performances this year. I can think of numerous amounts, I think. Maybe I can't think at all.
Probably not off the top of your head. But there were both supporting roles that were exceptional, and there were also performances in leading roles that were exceptional, and that is why we nominated some of each.
We've had Jodie Foster in Nyad, which I wasn't necessarily prone to watch, but incredible.
Glad we did.
Definitely. You have Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers, who just won a Golden Globe?
Yes.
If I do recall.
Yes, she did.
Incredible. Maybe Emma Stone's from Poor Things, another another Golden Globe winner?
I forget that the Golden Globe separates them.
Yeah.
Comedy, musical, drama,
yep.
whatever.
I know, otherwise it's like they couldn't both.
Yeah. We don't separate them here. They're all together. What's your favorite out of all the ones you've seen?
And your 3 finalists are Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon, Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers, and Emma Stone from Poor Things.
Very good picks. No men. Love to see it.
As it should be.
Also nominated in this category was, Cillian Murphy. We had a few votes for Cillian Murphy. We had a few votes for Stephen Yeun for Beef. Also, Coleman Domingo, we nominated for his performance in Rustin. It's looking more and more like that man is going to replace Jonathan Majors as Kang in the MCU,
yes.
And also maybe even get an Academy Award nomination for his performance in Rustin. So, beyond that, a lot of good picks, amazing finalist. What is the winner?
Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. Golden Globe winner, TBR Media winner as well.
Yes, and fast-tracked probably to supporting acting award at the Academy Awards for her performance in The Holdovers.
That'll be
clean sweep across the board.
It's been a year of stories. Fun stories, stories about building atomic bombs, stories about life-size dolls.
Life-size dolls.
Stories about a zombie apocalypse.
Stories about a mogul family under immense pressure to be crowned the successor to an empire. You have a family who just wants to own their own restaurant and run it. You have stories about overcoming in the superhero universe of Spider-Man. You had amazing stories about a teacher and a colleague and a student that have nowhere to go for the holidays.
You have stories like selling your blackness.
Different types of vibes, but nonetheless, you voted for 3 finalists in this category, and we are going to go through them.
The final category of the night.
Your 3 finalists, in no particular order, are Past Lives for the Best Narrative, The Bear on FX for Best Narrative, and Oppenheimer for Best Narrative. These 3 movies and shows are the epitome of why we do what we do and why we love entertainment so much. And these are the pinnacle of great filmmaking, great storytelling, great narrative. So without further ado, the winner, the crown achievement of the TBR Awards, Best Narrative, goes to Past Lives by director Celine Song. You haven't seen Past Lives.
I haven't. But incredible. Mm-hmm. It's definitely, I didn't expect it. And not that I don't think you are all so diverse, but I didn't know that so many people would love this movie when I haven't seen people talking about it really. You don't know who's actually going out to see it. So I think seeing that much love for it has made me maybe ponder to watch it.
The people on our channel here know what's right.
They do.
They know what's right by nominating Past Lives. You know, I've seen it be nominated in a lot of critic circles, a lot of critic societies. So this movie, like, while it's an underdog, certainly, I do think we're going to see it get a nomination for Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
So cool.
With those 10 slots, I think it will sneak in there. Might not win anything outside of screenplay. It might. But nonetheless, like, I think that this movie is exceptional. The performances are good. It's such an effective story talking about our presence together on this earth, and just the idea that their interactions and their story extends beyond the life that they're currently living, and can extend into the future and the endless possibilities of that, both past and present. I put a lot of work into writing that essay earlier in the year after I had seen it, and I was worried that not everyone was going to know what I was talking about, but so many people did. And then you came through and you voted for Past Lives. So thank you so much for not only voting for arguably my favorite film of the year, but also like just participating in this award show. It's a little bit different than we've done in the past, but I really appreciate you all taking the time to vote in those awards for the favorite films and TV shows of 2023, whatever they may be. And we really hope to do this next year with you all. Whatever we missed, both in the nominations and the finalists. Now, I will say, these are voted by you. So if you don't like it, this is your fault. But
vote
beyond
better
that,
next year.
Right, vote better next year, vote more. And I just want to say, like, thank you so much for participating in this and for watching this if you've watched this long. Boy, oh boy, was this video hard to shoot.
It definitely was. It was an undertaking, but it's been so much fun spending the time with you. If you guys have any suggestions for how we should do this next year, make sure to leave them below, Let us know your thoughts. I'll take them into consideration and relay them to Jared when he finally asks me and goes, hey, what were those notes from, 6 months ago? Wherever you guys are in the multiverse, I hope you're the best narrative.